The Red Sox and the Dodgers resume World Series play in Los Angeles tonight, with Boston up 2-0. In light of that, how are the Dodgers' chances? Not great. A team has taken a 2-0 lead in the World Series 54 times. Those teams have gone on to win the series 43 of those times, including in each of the last 10 World Series in which that has occurred. 31 of the past 38 teams that have won the first 2 games at home, as Boston has, have gone on to win it. Overall, 21 of the 54 teams that went up 2-0 have gone on to sweep the series. The last time a team came back from a 0-2 hole and won the World Series was 1996, when the Yankees did it to the Braves. The last time a team came back from the Dodgers' specific situation, down 0-2 heading home, was in 1981, when the Dodgers did it to the Yankees. If it makes LA fans feel any better, the Dodgers themselves have come back from a 0-2 hole 3 times, 1981, 1965 and 1955. Maybe, for good luck, they should get Fernando Valenzuela, Sandy Koufax and, I dunno, Carl Erskine to throw out the first pitches tonight. World Series Game 3 Red Sox vs Dodgers Ballpark, Dodger Stadium time, 8:09 p.m. Eastern TV, Fox Pitchers, Rick Porcello vs. Walker Buehler breakdown. The Red Sox finally throw a righty at the Dodgers, which means that the Dodgers will finally start their top home run hitters, Max Muncy, Jock Peterson and Cody Bellinger. Overall, LA batters have hit righty pitching better this year, so between that, some home cooking and some warmer weather, maybe the Dodgers bats will break out of their funk. Porcello has made 4 appearances in this postseason, 2 of which were starts. One was pretty good. He gave up 1 run in 5 innings to the Yankees in the ALDS. One was not so great, as he allowed 4 runs over 4 innings to the Astros in the ALCS. Boston won both of those games, however, because they're pretty good at beating the tar out of opposing pitchers, and their bullpen, despite worries about it heading into the postseason, has been great. The Dodgers know that pretty darn well, having gone hitless against Joe Kelly, Nathan Eovaldi and Craig Kimbrell in Game 2 and managing just 1 run on 3 hits over 5 innings against the Boston bullpen in Game 1. Buehler allowed a combined 9 runs in his first 2 playoff outings but pitched much better against the Brewers in Game 7 of the NLDS. They'll certainly need that Buehler tonight. And then some, actually, as he left Game 7 in the 5th inning, and so far this series the Dodgers have not done all that well going to the bullpen in the 5th inning. Perhaps not giving the ball to Ryan Madson tonight would be a good plan? Yes, that would be a good plan. The only question about the Red Sox lineup tonight is whether or not J.D. Martinez will play and where. It'd be a major enough move as it is to put Martinez in right field, moving Mookie Betts someplace. It'd be an even more major move now that Martinez's ankle is a bit questionable following a base-running mishap in Game 1. Could he DH? Sure. With no DH in the NL Park, can he run around and chase down fly balls? Hey, I wouldn't chance it. We'll see what Alex Cora does when the lineups come out this afternoon. Follow at Craig Calcaterra. The Mets general manager Serge Still, officially, continues, and 2 candidates, Rays senior vice president of baseball operations Chaim Bloom and agent Brodie Van Wagenen, are still, officially, the candidates. The baseball media, however, seems to be coalescing around the idea that Van Wagenen will be named the Mets' new GM. Today Andy Martino of SNY reported that Van Wagenen was in the lead, and Jeff Passan of Yahoo, Mark Feinsand of MLB.com and Joel Sherman of the New York Post are saying or implying that Van Wagenen has been offered the job. It would appear that the Mets are giving him a few days to tie up his business loose ends before making things public. Those loose ends would seem to be pretty significant. Among his many clients, Van Wagenen represents Jacob deGrom, Noah Syndergaard, Yoenis Cespedes, Todd Frazier and Tim Tebow. While Tebow is not a huge concern baseball-wise, those other 3 are all going to be subject to big decisions at one point or another by the front office. Van Wagenen seems poised to lead That could make for some awkward situations. For example, back in July, Van Wagenen said publicly that DeGrom was worthy of receiving a long-term contract extension from the Mets, and if they wouldn't do it, they should trade him. He's arbitration eligible for the third time this offseason. Next month DeGrom is likely to win the NL Cy Young Award, making him even more expensive. Does Van Wagenen have a tacit agreement with the Wilpons to give DeGrom that contract of which he recently said his client was deserving, or does he take a hard line with DeGrom in the way a GM might normally do? It's an interesting question, which I would hope Van Wagenen, DeGrom and the Wilpons have addressed privately already, but no matter what happens, it'd be reasonable to scrutinize the decision and the process which led to it. The same goes for any decisions Van Wagenen makes regarding any of his soon-to-be former clients. Last week Bill wrote about Scott Boras' complaint that it would be a conflict of interest for any agent to take a GM job. I don't agree with Boras on that necessarily, for the reasons Bill noted. There's no rule against it. An agent, like Dave Stewart did when he went to the Diamondbacks, could divest his business. It'd be awkward for a while, but it's not inherently a problem. Practically speaking, however, Van Wagenen's hiring, which seems imminent, does raise at least some potential ethical issues given that he has multiple clients on the very team he's about to take over. One hopes that he and the Wilpons have good answers to questions about them going forward. Follow @CraigCalcaterra.